GM, we are live, and I'm discovering the microphone input is not what I thought it was. Should have checked this before I went live. Now I don't think I can change it. I think I got to live with this. So I don't, I don't know what's. Oh, I know what's going on. All right. Well, this is terrible. This is terrible stuff. I can't believe I didn't have this sorted out before I went live here. So apologies to everybody. Give me 1 second. Let me plug in my microphone. It's going to work a lot better. It's going to work a lot better if I do that. All right. Okay, here we go. I think we're good. Apologies for that. Chris Bickle, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Steven, GM to you. Thank you for coming in. I'm a little out of sorts. Stayed up late watching the Dolphins game. The Dolphins predictably disappointed yet again, but I did think it was going to be a close game, and I know they lost by 10, but I do think they were live. That roughing the kicker play really changed everything, and it was definitely a good call. It was such a stupid play. It was such a big momentum swing. Now, I mean, you can look, the ball would have been downed inside the 2, so odds are Tua would have gotten sacked, we would have gotten safetied, and it would have been an embarrassing way to go. But obviously, we'll never know what would have happened, but a huge momentum swing, a really stupid play. I thought Tua looked absolutely terrible. I thought McDaniel coached for his life, and I mean, frankly, it does look like the problem really might lie with the quarterback position. Some inexcusable interceptions, some just bad throws, just not great. Just not great. I mean, I think Tua is really kind of a backup level quarterback at this point. So I don't think the Dolphins are going anywhere with him. The cap situation's a nightmare. I think we're stuck with him through 2029 with one an absolutely monster deal. He'll be top 5 paid quarterback for the rest of his contract until the next wave of signings go. So it's not good. But Chris Bickle, GM to you. Stephen W, C23, thanks for coming in. GM everyone. Best Ball on Call. Good morning, GM Candles and Company. Dirty P with the true takeaway that Ollie Gordon lives. Yeah, Ollie Gordon looked fantastic. I mean, Ollie Gordon looked really good. He did exactly what they needed him to do. He was very good in a few short yardage situations. Showed that kind of breakaway burst with a couple of runs. So I thought Ollie Gordon was a bright spot in an otherwise dreary game. I mean, it is the Bills, right? The Bills can make teams look bad. It was really just the quarterback play that has me so concerned. 0-3, another lost season for Miami, but that's the way she goes. We'll see. I would be very surprised if Tua got benched any time in the next few weeks. I don't think that's in the cards. It's not like we have some rookie we're really excited about. I mean, they have Quinn Ewers, but I believe he was taken in the 5th round, and nobody thinks he's the future. We kind of know what Jeff or Wilson is. So that's we're not going to uncover some hidden gem at the quarterback position. So I would be very surprised to see a change. Yeah, GM, condolences to the Fish fans here. Yeah, tough week. But that's kind of our tough week, I believe, is on the Dolphins official crest. Dirty P asking, did I get a new mic? I plugged my mic in midstream, so it changed. Do I sound better, worse? Because I can. People didn't hate the default mic if this doesn't sound good. So let me know. Let me know. Chris saying you'll always have 72 and 73, and that gets further and further away every year, Chris. I was not around for that. However, the Dolphins still seem to hang on to the glory years, which are deep in the rear view. Right. Night driving going, and without further ado, let's hop into a BR. We're going to keep looking forward, waiting for one if anyone wants to get in here. On the Bills' perspective, I mean, Cook looks fantastic. I think the Cook dip buyers when he was holding out absolutely got home. I think the Cook people who bought after he stopped holding out also getting home. I mean, the people waiting for touchdown regressions are going to be waiting just like us Dolphins fans are waiting for a Super Bowl. It's just not coming. Cook Cook plays on a high-powered offense. He's a very efficient runner. He's starting to get more volume. To me, Ray Davis is the one that's been getting squeezed. So Dalvin Cook looks, Cook looks fantastic. Dalvin Cook, geez Louise. Sorry, it's early. James Cook looks fantastic. Your voice sounds more up front in the mix. I don't know if that's good or bad. I might be more of a background voice kind of guy. Steven was in the Air Force in 72, 73. Oh my God. Well, that's thank you. First of all, thank you for your service. Hopefully, wherever you were stationed, you were able to tune into to some Dolphins chatter. I will say the F4 Phantom to me is my favorite aircraft of all time. To me, that was the pinnacle of aesthetics. So I don't know if you got to work on any of those, but I believe they were in service at that time. Paul, hey, good morning to you. Thanks so much for coming in. Paul, appreciate the support. Thank you again. Aunt Xwall, good morning to you. Nothing like waking up this morning 0-3. Life is good. Aunt Xwall, we simply wouldn't have it any other way as Dolphins fans. I'm going to take Saquon here. Steven, the Dolphins were good. You were an auditor. Okay, good. Gotcha. Well, hopefully all the accounting added up, Steven. But yeah, it's been a long time for the Miami Dolphins. We'll take Saquon here. I'll try to keep the board up, although it's a little harder from the middle of the board. Overall, BR thoughts. We're seeing some steam, especially in the Dawg Bowl streets with Ken Walker. He went from a guy that was undrafted at the beginning to now being taken most contests. And, Charbonnet missed practice again yesterday. If he's trending towards not playing, that is going to be a absolute smash for a guy that was very low owned a knee. So Ken Walker, in a matchup, we think I believe Seattle is 7.5 point favorites in that game. If Charbonnet is out, I mean, he's kind of a windmill jam there. So I'm going to be trying to get more and more of him today. Let's see, how do I want to construct this team? We missed out on the Lad Saquon thing. Maybe we'll build let's build a little game stack in this Chicago Dallas game. So we'll do that. We'll plan on taking George Pickens. We'll plan on taking Ken Walker, and we'll plan on taking Dak. So let's say this is going to be the kind of rough outline for the team. I'll take Ken Walker first, because I do think there are going to be people logging in to try to take him. Now, I think in a vacuum, do I want more Jordan Mason or Ken Walker? I think Jordan Mason probably still the better click, but I do want to start mixing in this Ken Walker situation. So let's do that. Now, where's the Dak drafter? So the Dak drafter is right after me. So if I want to do this, I might have to get a little creative. Let's take Pickens first. If we don't end up with Ken Walker, that's fine. I don't think the market is quite. Why didn't I take Dak? I meant to click Dak and I clicked Pickens. I messed that up. I did the opposite of what I said I was going to do. But yeah, let's see if we can still get there. If this guy takes Dak, then maybe we play it through. We can play it through the Caleb side of the ball if we have to. All right, Dirty P says, I was going against Allen, Kincaid, and Tyreek in my main redraft, sweating the whole game. You survived, but it wasn't great for you, is how I would describe that. Kincaid was pretty good. I think if you're a Kincaid owner, you're not complaining how that shook out for you. But Allen was fine. I think he had 3 touchdowns, but his yardage total was low. He didn't run one in, so you can't be too down on how that happened. So Zeno plays it through the Caleb side. All right. I'm trying to think. If I take Walker here, this guy can only take one running back. I don't know if he's going to be prioritizing. If he's going to prioritize Ken Walker. If not, then we'll just take Jacobs Brown, or even scroll further. Take Kamara. The Kamara side of it, I think, is also fine. So see if we can't finish building out this particular team, and then we'll just take one of the later tight ends in the mix. So, all right, so he takes Jacob, so we will get our Ken Walker play, and then we're just going to have to decide which late tight end we want on this team. All right, Steven asks, Annexwell asking if he was stationed in Homestead, being that Annexwell grew up there. And Steven says, nope, he was in Forbes in Kansas and Blytheville in Arkansas, 90 miles from home. Oh, man. Yeah. Steven, okay, football question. Do you like Jacobs this week? I did more than I think a lot of the content people did not seem to really be into Jacobs this week. I think there's a little bit of fear of the Browns run D, the Browns being somewhat of a pass funnel. I don't know if I was not willing to say that after 2 games. I mean, in my mind, that the game script was going to be so far in favor of the Packers, I wasn't going to be afraid of that. Like, if they're just salting the game away, I really thought they're not afraid to give Jacobs the ball 30 times. I think if the game had been in December for the Ravens, we might have seen it run out a little bit differently. I'm going to lean Juwan Johnson over Ferguson. I don't think I want to do a Dak double on this BR team. Although, yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. I will take the Juwan Johnson. It's not even as a Ken Walker bring back, but I think this team's fine. I don't think this combo will have been built yet. It might be something that people start getting to, but I don't know if getting Ferguson was getting different enough. If I really wanted to make sure I wasn't duped, I would want to scroll it down deeper into Moria. But yeah, I think I like Jacobs. They're not going to be afraid to give him the ball 30 times if they have to. Whereas I do think there is something in Baltimore where they want to keep Henry fresher for the playoffs. A much older running back. It just does seem like they do consciously go to like limit his touches compared to what they do with Jacobs. So I think he's just going to get there by volume. Hey, Tiger Uppercut, GM to you. But going back to Jacobs, he is tending to some ankle injury. So I'll kind of want to see what the practice report says today. It's possible if they're worried about that, then in a real blowout script, they work, what is it? Wilson. I don't know who even their primary backup is with Lloyd hurt. It's been a little bit of a hodgepodge. Let me see what it. Oh yeah, Chris Brooks and Emmanuel Wilson. I don't know which one. I don't know which one would get the primary there. But anyway, I still do like Jacobs this week. And next, while I picked up Kincaid in redraft, I knew firsthand what was going to happen. Yeah, I liked Kincaid. I liked Kincaid last night. The Dolphins defense is generationally terrible, and Kincaid, it does seem like the receivers are going to be a little bit of a nightmare in Buffalo, and who gets there each week. They just have so many. They spread the ball around, but at least from the tight end position, if it's going to go to a tight end, it's probably going to Kincaid. I mean, obviously, Liam famously almost won like a 50-1 ticket with their like 3rd string tight end scoring. Tyler, speaking of Dalton Kincaid, it's going good. It's going good, Tyler. Thanks so much for coming in. Tyler famously made a very serious wager requiring Dalton Kincaid to not have 2 touchdowns. Kincaid was tackled at the half-yard line. So, Tyler, I'm glad you did not have to pay out there. Joel says, Kraft injury and Jacobs 2 times limited practice has me pushed down on Jacobs this week. Again, at a certain point, like the Kraft injury, they might just build the plane out of Jacobs. I don't know. I mean, teams do squirrely stuff with these injury reports. I don't know how much you can. I don't know. Obviously, if it does have some ankle thing and they're going to limit him, but we've seen players go into games with the Q tag and then their usage is exactly what it would have been anyway. So it's really hard to divine that sometimes. It's really hard to divine that, and I don't know if I want to fade a true workhorse running back, which there are not many in the league, in a matchup in which they are monster favorites. Like, I just feel like it's overthinking it a little bit. But you could be right. I mean, I also rostered Derrick Henry in DFS last week, and he got me 2.5 points. So I see the vision for the fade. I'm just telling you, I am going to step on the same rake again, and that's just how I'm going to go with it. Brooks plays for his past pro. Wilson could be the lead ball carrier if Jacobs is limited. Okay, Joel. Yeah, if Jacobs is limited again or does seem questionable, that is something that I'm going to have to look into more. So I do appreciate that. Tyler says, never a drop of sweat. Well, I was sweating for you. I saw him crumbling towards the end zone. I was like, oh no, this is happening. Limited before Fridays, nothing necessarily worrisome. Could effectively be rest up. Yeah, that's where I'm at with the injury stuff on that. Joel says, not fading Jacobs, but already have a full bag and I'm pulling back at this point. Yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean you can do that in BRs. Let's just hop in another one. Let's hop in another BR here. I'm telling you, that was all I could think of there. I was like sweating everyone else's stuff. I was sweating your burrito, and I was sweating Liam's ticket, like the Tyreek Hill points. I'm like, I can't believe this guy's gonna get there again. I can't believe it's gonna happen. And Tyreek scored. So I feel like most people were rooting against it. Like I feel like most people did not want Liam's ticket to hit. I wanted it to hit because I thought it was gonna be. I thought it would have been just such a funny bit, just because people just absolutely seethe when Liam gets home. It's really funny to watch. Hey, Johnny Murphy, GMQ, thanks so much for coming in. Appreciate the support. Mike Rob, Brown's run D is no joke. Jacobs would have a hard day, even healthy. Yeah, Mike. But if you give him the ball 32 times, like, I don't know. And their pass defense, all they have to do is like pass and they get inside the 5. And like, is he really not going to get in if they give him the ball 3 times? Like, I don't know. Like, he could just, if he has 79 yards and 2 touchdowns, that's going to be good. Like, I don't need him to be hyper efficient. Plus, I mean, run D is good until it's not. Like, one breakaway run. Like, we've seen that. We've seen teams shut down a running back, and then all of a sudden they get one big play. Like, and being that he is such a bell cow, like he's going to just keep getting those carries. I don't know. It makes me nervous. Makes me a little nervous there. Tyler says, I catch my pick'em slips and Kincaid rug pulls the internet. You love to see it. Hey, I mean, that's some of those days you get home. Last night, DFS, I mean, no one wants to hear about sweating a min cash, but that last pass to Malik Washington did min cash me in my showdown. So that was actually like a nice ending to it. A few $100s that I didn't think I was going to get. All of a sudden, I went from winning nothing to hey, I'm slightly positive on the day. This is nice. So yeah, nice to get home on those kind of things that it's the little wins that add up. The little wins add up. Steven says, okay, another question. One of my last had a lot of discussion. Are y'all playing any Tootin? I feel like you're playing volume. I'm playing a little Tootin, Steven. I am I'm mixed him in on I think I have him on one Dawg Bowl team. It's pretty thin. But I mean he could definitely get there on 12 touches. I happen to think that running back is so deep that it's a little fancy. Like if I'm playing BRs, like Ken Walker was a deep scroll. I mean, Hubbard, Connor, Warren, Krosky, Merritt. Like I feel a little better about those bets to where I don't feel like I need. I have Saquon again here, and we didn't get we did not get Puka again. So I'll make this a JSN team. That I think you can mix them in, but it's just like at a certain point, I don't want too huge of a player pool. So he's kind of on the fringe for me, but I don't mind it. Tyler, we see less if Liam didn't use everything to crown himself. He is either the best engagement artist, purposefully or just unintentionally. But I mean, he is so good at getting people to talk about him. He is one of the best to ever do it. So I can't even be mad. I mean, I've had 2 viral tweets in my life, and Liam just tweets a random thought off the cuff, and we're talking about it, or a slip. It is really, really incredible. So he does deserve the crown, at least as far as the engagement stuff goes. Hey Tyler, thanks. Yeah, I know, min cashing the spy, big day for me. But no, I mean, it is always nice when like so often the last play-in showdown like takes you out of the money or something for it to finally go your way. It's like, hey, a little money back, sweet. Right, a few times probably Dawg Bowls better for Tootin. Yeah, that's again like, could Tootin be the really low-owned guy you need to win the BR? Maybe. I mean, I might mix him in a couple times. I don't know what I would exactly need for that to be what I want to do. I think on this team, let's do, speaking of weird scrolls, let's put Hubbard, maybe a little. I do really like this Carolina-Atlanta game. The market does not, so I'm happy to get to it a little bit. I'll take Tyler Warren. I really hope this. No, I'm not, because these guys have tight ends, so I don't need to do that. All right, yeah, I'm just going to take Hubbard here. I'm going to take Hubbard because I really just don't care what my tight end is. This is likely, this is going to be a Michael Penix team. So let me get Penix into the queue. So we're going to have Penix, Saquon, Hubbard, JSN, Drake London, and then a mystery, a tight end. We might just scroll into the depths, grab a tight end. Yeah, Tyler says Tootin is cute. No reason to do that. Yeah, it feels like really fancy in the six persons. Thanks. I just wanted to other. Yeah, of course, Steven. I like to. I mean, I like to talk about these guys because no one's going to play Tootin in the six persons, but you do occasionally see them in the Dawg Bowls, but not very many. Yeah, Tyler says you're sacrificing too much projection in a 6-man. I tend to agree. The only thing I would say about that, Tyler, is I think Tootin's a little hard to project because there is probably, I think we all agree by the end of the year, the slider between Etienne and Tootin is likely not to remain static. Like, we're going to see more Tootin. So I think the projections on him, there's a little more uncertainty. So if his role is actually more, then we might be under projecting him. And if you're willing to bake in that potential upside, then I kind of like it. Because one day we might just wake up in a world where Tootin actually is like out snapping Etienne. I don't think we're there yet this week. So I think it's early, but I think one of these weeks Tootin might just demolish his projection because, like, if they don't telegraph that swap is coming, it might just kind of come out of the blue. So I don't mind Tootin. I think one of these weeks, like, he might be a guy we just like sprinkle in, and then all of a sudden we're just gonna get home with him. All right. I mean, Juwan Johnson is fine. This feels like one where I'm a little worried about dupes. I could do a Pitts to do the double stack. All right, that's not. All right, we'll make the Fannin bet. I'm sprinkling Fannin in as a late tight end here. All right, so this team ends up being Penix, Saquon, Chuba Hubbard, JSN, Drake London, and Harold Fannin. A perfectly reasonable BR team. We'll see. If I have a lot of Penix London teams, and just trying to sprinkle in if I want it to be Hubbard. I think I prefer Tet as kind of the bring back, but I don't want to not have Hubbard teams because that could be how the Carolina Panthers keep it close. Tyler says, sure, 26% snaps, 1/3 touches. You're uncertain, that's fair, but median's obviously hyper efficiency, limited touches. I agree when it's closer to 50-50, the uncertainty band makes sense. Yeah. And I think you're right there. And obviously the efficiency is, I think we're more likely that the efficiency moves against us than the snap rate moves for us. So that is one of the reasons I'm not like sprinkling him as much in these late BRs as Jaylen Warren, who I like quite a lot, as Krosky Merritt, who I think I like a little more than the market does. I feel like those bets to me are what I want to make more. Judkins to me is a little too fancy, but I don't hate the Judkins bet. I think it's similar to the Tootin bet, but in a like bad matchup. That said, Judkins was getting some receiving work. So if you think they're in catch-up mode and they're like, just screw it, let's put the rookie out there, like, he might see more work than we're anticipating. So there's definitely a few like deep scrolls deep scrolls, you can tell yourself a story, but I don't want to be getting like crazy on them. Best ball and call, the best way for Panthers to keep it closest to delay the kickoff. Oh no. I don't know. I mean, I kind of into that game, so I hope it's close because I've been playing it to be a high scoring game, especially over in Dawg Bowl Town. All right, let's see what the Dawg Bowl's at, by the way. Probably gonna do location error. I've been sitting here the whole time. I haven't moved. What you guys don't know is that my entire house is capable of relocating states. It's really a nice feature. And sometimes I forget and leave myself in a non-underdog state. Okay, we're good to go. We are good to go. We're waiting for 4. If anyone wants to hop into a Dawg Bowl, hop on in. The weather's fine. This is the place where you can do some running back scrolls and feel a little better about it. But there's also some great wide receiver scrolls. I mean, we get to the late 60s. No one's clicking on McLaurin. I mean, wide receiver 1 for Washington. I mean, you could argue that it's Debo, but a guy that we were drafting very high in BBMs, and we're taking him undrafted in a lot of these. Calvin Ridley, Sutton's been left for dead because everyone thinks it's Troy Franklin. MHJ, I mean, these Michael Pittman. I don't mind Michael Pittman. I have a few Pittman, Daniel Jones teams. Matthew Golden, if Kraft misses, like there's some really Wicks. Wicks is unfortunately clickable. I hate to give in to big Wicks, but like, you can get down here and get kind of creative in the I think Christian Kirk is too clever because he might be on a pitch count. But anyway, there's some good scroll options. This is a great week for some creativity in the Dawg Bowl streets before we get to the bye weeks. And then you get to these, and there really is much more of a cliff. Here it's kind of like a gentle slope. When you start getting more teams not playing, more injuries creeping in, it can be a little bit tougher. But now we're kind of in the glory days. In the glory days when you can pretty much take anybody. Let's see if we can't get anyone into here. Waiting for 3 DBQ. All right. See if we can't get anybody in to to this one. Let's see my Dawg Bowl exposures. I suppose if people want to know how I'm playing my Dawg Bowls, if I just limit it to. All right. So for at quarterback, a lot of Young and Penix. That's not surprising. That's the game I've really targeted, playing it through both sides. Daniel Jones has been my bailout when I either get sniped on a stack or I don't have, if I have something like JSN where I don't really want to stack him with Darnold, and then my second receiver is someone like an Odunze or a Pickens where Caleb or Dak has already been taken or something like that. Daniel Jones has been kind of a bailout for me. Dak is not surprising to be up here with Lamb and Pickens, really into both those receivers. And then after that, it's really just a smattering of one-offs. Running back, early in the week, Krusky Merritt was my late click. At running back, I kind of wish this was a little lower. I wish it was a little more weighted towards Warren because they were both free and in the same spot. But I don't mind the Krusky Merritt bet. I think if you're going late running back, he was fine. I've been picking up Jordan Mason all week. Bijan is a little weird. I think I've just been heavily my beginning of the drafts. I was taking Bijan when I got the 101, and a few times at the 2 and 3, he was still there. So I'm oddly overweight Bijan and an underweight CMC, which feels not great. I only have 2 CMC teams, which I don't love that because I'm not that much more into Robinson, Jalen Warren. I like, and then this is only 4 Ken Walker teams. I wish that was higher out of my 38 teams. And then again, you can see some of the other guys who have been sprinkled in. Receiver, Drake London, Pickens, Ted McMillan. Again, how I've been playing this is through London and McMillan. And you can see some of the other guys. I did not realize I had this much MHJ. I like him as kind of a one-off late scroll. I don't think I need this much. That's I didn't even realize I was clicking him this much late. I do like MHJ. I think he's a buy low opportunity. I mean, going for free in the 6th round seems a little loony to me. Tight end. Trying to mix up my late tight ends. Strange, Jatavion Sanders. Again, probably wish this was a little more spread out with Fannin. It's a lot of Brenton Strange, like a oddly high amount of Brenton Strange. Brenton Strange, Jatavion Sanders. Again, that Carolina game, Pitts, the Carolina game. Dallas Goedert, I think, is nice because he's not drafted every time. The Q tag was scaring people off. I think he's going to play. And if he doesn't play, I'll have to make sure my ranks are set. So that's kind of how I've been playing the Dawg Bowls. Waiting for one if anyone wants to hop on in. All right. Let's see. So I don't, let me look at where Ken Walker. So Ken Walker was basically undrafted. Now he's up to 28. So that has been a big rise for our friend Ken Walker there. Now has flipped Kamara. We'll have to wait to see where we are in the draft board. So again, the waiting for one. If anyone wants to hop on in. Last night, I was checking my eliminators. I don't think I had anything like too crazy happen in the eliminator streets. I have my one big eliminator team, which is one of my favorite. I really like this team. Let me pull that one up. Oh, we're off. I don't have to pull that one up. All right, no more vamping. The 11 hole, brutal stuff. I don't really love drafting over here. The other thing is running back on this side. Now that Ken Walker you can't take. So let's see, my next pick is my next set of picks are picks 35 and 38. So if I go by ADP of wide receiver, Hubbard's 32, Pollard's 34.2, and then you get Breece Hall, Kyron, and Etienne, who I don't love. I like Jaylen Warren a lot, but that feels. Well, now I'm reaching up and grabbing Warren, which I'm happy to do. I will take him there at 35, 38, but it's like I'd rather be doing that because I think your difference in first round players is, if I'm doing that from like the 4 or 5, it feels so much better because your first round pick is so much better at 4 or 5 than at pick 11. So I think there's a big edge to picking at the front of the board today, but we'll see what we can manage. Hey, Joel will fill in. Awesome. Hey, thanks, Joel, for filling the draft. I see you there at pick 8. I don't see a lot of the usuals. I don't know if they're just taking the Friday morning off or if they're getting close to done or what. But we do have a room without a lot of the regulars. Your Best Ball Viper, your Mathology, your Nez, your some of your high volume players that you expect to see are not lurking in these streets. So we'll see what we can conjure up on this team here. All right, CMC goes in this draft at the 1. Again, I wish I had taken more CMC at the 1 instead of Bijan because I'm not going to do a whole lot more of these, and I feel like I kind of prefer CMC a little bit maybe, but again. I've just been trying to target that game in various ways and just tell myself that if that's the game you need, then I'm going to have a good shot to have a sweat this week. All right, so thinking ahead to what we are going to do, pick 11, pretty commonly to see JSN there. You have to make the Josh Jacobs decision. Jordan Mason should be available to us. Jacobs limited practice. Coming off of a longer week against Washington, a little surprised to see all this limited practice stuff. But again, hopefully it's just veteran nonsense. But we will see. Have to decide if we want to take Jacobs there. I think I have a fair amount of Jacobs as it is. So let's just see what the room hands to us here. Maybe we didn't get any kind of good falling value. So. Alas. All right. almost wondering if we take a Trey McBride and then maybe think about game stacking that Arizona San Francisco game and just taking McBride here and then seeing what running backs what running backs come back around to us. But we'll see what the room does. Mr. Worth, he takes Jamar Chase at pick 8. So we'll see what we get here. Lee takes Josh Jacobs. Passing on Jordan Mason is kind of tough because he just projects for so much workload against such a crummy defense. I don't think I want to pass that. If this McBride thing doesn't happen, it's fine. But I'm going to take Jordan Mason here and then see what we can get coming around. My preference would be Trey McBride. If Trey McBride goes, then I have to decide how I want to play it. Trey McBride goes, a little unfortunate for us. But you know what? Let's take Nico. I think Nico's perfectly fine here. Nico's a fine click. A little down on their luck with the Texans, but the Jags pass defense is not something that I am afraid of. So hopefully we can make something work with Nico there. After one possession, we were ready to say that, okay, Nico Collins is back, and then he kind of didn't do anything the rest of the game. I have to think that they're able to make some adjustments and maybe push it a little bit against the Jags. So Brian Thomas Jr., of course, where does he go? So he goes around pick 30. He's has this Q tag. I thought he practiced in full. I guess not. He practiced limited. Let's see, full participant Wednesday and then limited on Thursday. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean they're saying it's unknown if it's a setback or if it's just load management. We'll have to see about that. I'm not huge on BTJ anyway. Wasn't huge on him coming into the year. I don't necessarily need a bring back. So we'll just we'll stay flexible here at pick 35. Won't necessarily commit ourselves to stacking this game. The nice thing about Nico Collins though is if you want to take Stroud, nobody takes Stroud unstacked, so I don't have to worry about getting sniped on my primary pass catcher. So we start Mason, Nico. Again, it's like this side of the board is tough. Maybe I would have felt a little better if I had just taken McBride, and then if Mason didn't come around, then just taking another running back at that point. But of course, we'll see what the room gives to us. J-Dubs, he goes Jamar Chase and Rome Odunze, so that makes sense. A little bit of early weather concerns in that Chicago-Dallas game, projected to rain and storm in the Midwest. I think it'll all depend on what the game time conditions are. Still far enough out to where we don't know. I didn't check this morning. Light rain, light wind isn't a problem, but if there's, it's really if it gets super windy or torrential, then I would be concerned. As of now, I'm not doing anything differently in that game with a little bit of weather, but just something to keep an eye on. I think very often in NFL, weather can actually lead you astray. Being too attuned to the weather can get you off of plays that were just fine. I mean, the defense has to play in the rain too, and we've seen weird stuff in weather games of defenders losing their footing, and sometimes it can be an edge to the offense. I mean, the receiver knows where they're going, the defender doesn't, and so you sometimes can see like a slippery field being good for the offense. I mean, conversely, you can see quarterbacks having trouble, receivers, the ball slippery. So it can be such a mixed bag that to play it one way or the other can be a mistake. The Wood, he takes Ken Walker here at pick 22. We're going to see that more and more. If Charbonnet misses practice today, then Ken Walker is probably going to be actually a 1-2 turn pick by the time the Dawg Bowl closes. So we'll keep an eye on that. If Sharps is fully healthy and it's a 50-50 split, this pick is going to seem not great. So we'll see. But 2 missed practices in a row, it's looking a little dicey. Best ball on call, 10 miles an hour, 20 to 30 precipitation chance. Looked it up for you. Oh, thanks, best ball on call. Yeah, that doesn't seem too bad. 10 mile an hour winds is not is not anything we need to concern ourselves with in that game. So we've got Mason and Nico there. I will have to decide if BTJ comes to me if I want to do that. I guess it'll depend on the depth of running back. I don't want to pass on. I probably don't want to pass on these running backs. I do see some, T Money doesn't have a running back. Ace only has one. Ben only has one. J Dubs doesn't have any. So, Daddy has 0. So it's a pretty good chance that running back thins out before it comes to us. We will see. This is how you end up with way too much Krosky merit because we don't take one here and then pick 59 rolls around and welcome to the team, Ja'Cory Krosky merit. Tiger Uppercut says, you're a Dolphins fan, right? Do you want them to completely clean house at this point? I've wanted them to completely clean house for like 3 years. I mean, how Greer has survived as GM despite making the worst personnel decisions in the history of football, I will simply never know. But he may just know where the bodies are buried and they can't get rid of him. I have no idea, but it's not great. It's not great. So yes, Tiger Uppercut. I am in favor of a full house cleaning if that is an option that we can order up for the Miami Dolphins here. It is pretty grim. It is pretty grim. All right, so Lee can't take a running back. Daddy can take one there. Daddy 34, that is, for any audio listeners. His username is Daddy 34. All right, so Lee takes Ferguson. Daddy 34 is on the clock. Let's see what he does. So once he takes Hubbard, I guess I'll do the BTJ thing. I mean, this, it's a little bit past ADP. This Q tag thing might be scaring people. I'll take a shot on this Texans Jags game. A little bit of a bounce back opportunity there. See what we can see. I would take Breece Hall if Breece Hall comes back to me. Some people are out on Breece Hall. They're afraid of the Tyrod Taylor-led offense. Yeah, FK Coolers. I mean, as soon as I said it, it was very uncomfortable. So yeah, I did want to clarify that was in fact a username. I'll take Breece Hall. Let's take Breece Hall. I mean, people are kind of leaving this Jets team for dead, but I think they're going to be okay. And we were all declaring Breece Hall the steal of the draft against the Bills, and then they have a bad game in the Jets' first game against the Steelers, and then they have one bad game against the Bills, and we're all like, "Oh, Breece Hall sucks again." I'll take a shot on him. I'll take a shot on him in Tampa Bay. So we've got Mason, Breece Hall, Nico Collins, and BTJ on this team. So yeah, I don't mind what we've put together here. We're probably not going to have to worry about T-Law or Stroud getting sniped on this team. So we should be able to just build a nice little game stack here, and Mason, Breece Hall, not too bad. J Dubs, he builds a team that I like quite a bit with Jamar Chase, Romo June, St. George Pickens, and Dak Prescott. So he's able to get the Dak Pickens stack. I'm very into Pickens this week. I think he is live to absolutely scorch this very beatable Bears secondary there. So getting a game stack in the highest total game seems good. Seems good. I don't know. Sometimes this game isn't as hard as we make it out to be, but I do like that. Normally we got a lot of people to go over their teams, but here again, not too many friends and family, not too many of the usual suspects. I guess there is a prevailing view. I think that the value in the Dawg Bowl is early in the week before big ETR comes in with their projections, before some of these ADPs adjust, and then you kind of want to just like get out of the pool at the end. So we'll see. It is projecting to fill. Let's see, what are we at? 71%. So I mean, this is probably going to fill tomorrow again. We'll see if it picks up. But that's pretty crazy. We're only here on a Friday morning. Joel says feels way too chalky. Need to get funky late. Yeah, I mean this 4-person start. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Is I'm sure this has been done. So I certainly understand wanting to get funky. I certainly want it. But the other thing to remember is it's not a huge field. It's not a huge field for 5,000 entrants. I mean, it's not going to be done in every single room that happens. I mean, you don't always get Dak with Pickens. Sometimes the Lamb drafter takes them. Sometimes this stack plays it through the Caleb side, or sometimes when they have this stack, they just don't do it at all. But certainly somebody else has this. But you also might have a different first round pick. I mean, Jamar Chase, it's not necessarily. I don't even know if Chase would be the most popular combo with those two. I actually think most people probably would have a running back with these two. I think a lot of people are less comfortable starting 3 wide receivers. That's just my kind of off the cuff take on the situation there. But you know what? I will never oppose anyone getting funky. We see MHJ going. He goes undrafted sometimes, but I'm kind of into MHJ this week, but not as into as my exposures seem to suggest. Hey, BB Meat Gazer, happy Friday, Chad. Predicting big things for you this weekend. Beep Meat Gazer, thanks so much. First of all, thanks for coming to hanging out, and thanks for the kind words. I hope so. That's awesome. That would be fantastic. It'd be really nice to get some have a good week. Have a good week this week. James says, do you think Daniel Jones will be 100% drafted in Dawg Bowls? No, but he'll be like 80%, 75, 80%. I'd be surprised if he wasn't, 85, 90% owned. But he's not taken in every single draft. I think I've seen him not go. But I do like him as bailouts to some of these picks, like this guy here with I'll say his full name, Daddy34, with Jefferson and Garrett Wilson. Like, do you really want Darnold and Tyrod Taylor? Probably not. Or Gene. I mean, maybe he makes it a Geno team. I don't know. I mean, it just feels so thin with those like statue quarterbacks that are probably going to be pretty low volume. I guess Tyrod's not technically a statue, but he's becoming more of a statue. He doesn't run nearly as much as I think he's been in the league like 12 years or something. It's just hard for me to imagine like them being what you need, like a Tyrod Taylor skinny stack. It's so hard for me to get there. So J-Dubs, he takes J.K. Dobbins, which is certainly in the realm of getting funky. He's not taken every time. I think that's a perfectly reasonable late click there. Now, what do we want to do? Jay Berger has a tight end, so I'm going to take my quarterback first, just in case they get loose. I know I have a lot of Brenton Strange, but I do think that this team should just be a T-Law. I mean, I think to play this the other way is wrong, because I do like this double stack here. So I can go T-Law, Jordan Mason, Breece Hall, Nico Collins, BTJ, and Brenton Strange, assuming that Berber doesn't go to tight end, which would be very odd. It'd be even odder if he picked Brenton Strange out of all of the tight ends in the universe to do that with. So he takes Terry McLaurin. I mean, I like Terry McLaurin as a late receiver click who is left on the scrap heap. And he takes Caleb. All right, so we'll take Brenton Strange. And so this team is T-Law, Mason, Breece Hall, Nico Collins, BTJ, Brenton Strange. I like this team. I think this team is perfectly reasonable. Do I wish Jordan Mason and Breece Hall was like slightly better? I think early in the week when Mason was cheap, you could probably get this combo with a more elite running back. But you know what? It's not early in the week. And so yesterday's price is not today's price. So let's see what some people are doing, some weird stuff. So this Mr. 34, he takes Baker Mayfield unstacked on that team where we talked about Wilson and Jefferson. Interesting choice there after adding Darnell Mooney, who I've not seen drafted yet. J-Dubs, he adds Zach Ertz. I think that's fine. J-Dubs, I like your team. For the audio listeners, J-Dubs has Jamar Chase, Romo Junze, George Pickens, Dak Prescott, and then J.K. Dobbins, Zach Ertz. So Baker goes unstacked. Brock Purdy goes to the Juwan Jennings drafter there. Michael Penix goes to the London drafter. So, nothing too out of the ordinary in this room. We see Daniel Jones go in the first pick of the 5th round to the Tyler Warren drafter, which is again not a super uncommon way to see that Daniel Jones played. You'll see him over here on the left side of the board with Tyler Warren quite a bit. I think a way to get unique with Jones is to just play him naked or play him with Downs or Pittman, because no one's taking Downs or Pittman. If you want to get you, I don't think you have to get crazy with Daniel Jones, but if you want to box out some of the Daniel Jones, the chalkier way to play Daniel Jones would be not with Tyler Warren. So I'll stick around. We'll see you, Casey Pollock, a high volume player. Let's see who he ends the team with. Calvin Ridley. So he does a bring back to the Daniel Jones, Tyler Warren team. All right, not bad. Not bad. I like this team. I like it as part of the portfolio. This Jacksonville double with a Nico bring back, because we've seen Jacksonville games randomly go off, and I think that's perfectly fine team. Mr. Worth, thanks for drafting with me. Fill in the room. We're waiting for 5. So if you guys want to do battle, hop on in. Hey, Fantasy Football Garage, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. We're running some BRs. We just finished a Dawg Bowl qualifier. And thanks for coming in, by the way. It's been 51 minutes. I haven't asked if you can like and subscribe. I would truly appreciate it. Keeps the lights on here, and keeps us streaming in the AM. I don't see any of you guys. Wait, SMV is one of you, I think. I don't know. Identify yourself immediately. No, I feel like that's somebody, and I feel bad because I don't remember their name, or I just made that up completely. Either way, if you're in here, please let me know so I can review what you're doing. Again, I will with these BRs. I'm happy to telegraph what I'm doing. I don't really care about if I get sniped in a BR. It's fine. Like, it usually just means someone's like playing badly, like if they're taking your stuff, because there's very often there's proper ways to construct, and just sniping somebody out of the blue is detrimental to everybody. Hey, Jordan, GM to you, sorry, and thanks for coming in. You're in the one hole. Okay, Baby J is in here. I knew someone was in here. GM chat go, hey Jordan, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out, and for helping fill the room. Let's see what we can see. So Baby J on the clock, he takes Bijan. Let's get CMC. I feel like I'm light on CMC, and it's just been virtue of the draft boards. I might have to start taking him out 1. Let me just real quick see what my exposures are in the 6 persons. 12% McCaffrey, 20% Bijan. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know why I've just been very skewed towards Bijan, so I probably just want to mix in some CMC as my first pick a little more. I'm not a big exposure bro, but I'm a big McCaffrey bro, and so I just don't want to be underweight Christian McCaffrey. That does not seem right. I think McCaffrey McBride will not be a rare thing to do. I think there are going to be teams that see this and immediately want to do a bring back. Not saying not to do it. McBride to me is the tight end 1. I'm definitely concerned about Brock Bowers. I am really am fearful that this injury is not nothing. So interesting choice. Do we want JSN, Nico? Do we want to go far afield in this? Do some kind of scroll? Let's do Nico. I kind of like that Nico build we did last time. We'll see what Jordan leaves us afterwards. So he does not pass on McBride, and to that combination he adds JSN. All right, I like that start for Baby J over there. I'll just take Jordan Mason. I think that is perfectly fine there. Pull the board up. So we've got CMC, Nico, Mason. Jordan has got Bryant, Bijan, Trey McBride, and JSN. Yeah, the Bowers stuff. I mean, limited in practice again. He just looked kind of hobbled. I really wish he had just sat the game out, not just because I have Michael Mayer bags, but because I do want him to get healthy. And playing through a knee thing is kind of not the best way to do it, especially on a short week for them. Having played on Monday night. But he could just be Brock Bowers, and it looked really stupid having faded him. So, we'll we'll see what we can see. We'll see what we can see, but I do have some concern about Brock Bowers this week. All right, so there goes Baker. Baker to the Bucky drafter. Very interesting there. Casey Pollock, high volume player. You're going to see them do some unique stuff. Sometimes I think when players get to late in the BRs, once they've made all their like stacks and combos they want, you see them get a little loose. I don't know if that's what Casey Pollock is doing there, but I imagine this is going to be a not super highly built combination. Bucky and Baker there. Tucker Kraft is interesting. He went from like he's definitely not out for the year, which had everyone saying like, oh my God, he's out for the year, to oh, it was just a tweak. He might still play Sunday anyway. So this is a practice report we're going to want to keep a close eye on for additional information there. Drake London goes. I like Drake London. I'm going to just take Tyler Warren. I want to build this stack, and the one hole already has a tight end, so I would be surprised if they went 2 tight ends. That would be kind of weird. So I'll take Tyler Warren next. If they do go 2 tight ends, that's fine. I'll just take somebody else. But I think I kind of want to build that Nico BTJ stack in a BR. But I don't know if I want it to be a double stack. I think Tyler Warren is pretty darn good, and if for some reason T-Law gets taken, I could take Daniel Jones. I could take Daniel Jones anyway, because I do like that. So Baby J, he takes Justin Herbert and Ladd, so he builds a instant stack on the turn. I'll take Tyler Warren, and then I'll queue up T-Law. I would be fine building this exact same team with Brenton Strange. I think that would be fine if I want to do a double stack. I could easily do that as well, but we'll see. I don't. If I do that, I can do that on my own time, not on stream, because it's not fun to watch the same exact team get constructed. So this team: CMC, Nico, Jordan Mason, BTJ, Tyler Warren, and it's going to end with Trevor Lawrence, unless something weird happens. Our friend Jordan, he goes Bijan, Trey McBride, JSN, Justin Herbert, and Ladd McConkey. So we'll see if he ends his team with a running back or receiver, or I guess he could technically go tight end if he wanted to as well. So we will see. The Baker drafter, he does go with Garrett Wilson, so he builds a Tampa Bay Jets game stack, but does it kind of in a unique way. Yeah, I don't mind getting to that if you're 150 maxing, just throwing a few of those lineups in there. Not how I would prefer to build this. I think I would much rather just play it straight up with Mike Evans, who, if Egbuka is out, really might just be an absolute volume hog, or even like potentially Cade Otton. But you know what, the offense might really condense around Bucky, and we have seen him involved in the passing game, so it's not like a bad idea. Okay? I would not say this is a bad idea at all, but it is somewhat rare that it is quarterback, running back is what you need to like take down the big contests. So I'll just take Trevor Lawrence, and let's see, who does Jordan end his team with? Let's see what he does. I mean, there's some good players left on the board. I mean, there are so many ways you can end this team. Not even going to guess. Oh, he takes Ted McMillan. All right, I love Ted McMillan this week. I think that is a. Yeah, I'm taking Ted McMillan a lot. The Falcons are without. I think there's one of their best corners. Bryce Young threw 55 times last game. Like it's wheels up for Ted McMillan. So, Jordan, thanks for drafting. I like the team you put together. And we're waiting for 3. If anyone wants to hop on in. We'll keep it rolling. And again, thank you all so much for the support this morning. I don't know if and when the other folks are going live. So let me see if I can try to pull that up off stream. So, all right. So Pete goes live at 1 today. Let me see when Davis is going live. Davis goes live at at 10:30. 10:30. Okay, sweet. I don't usually go that long anyway. All right, so we're here at the 1 hole. This SMV person is at the 2. Supa Dupa. That is a great name. I wonder if they're talking about like duping lineups or they're just like super duper, but like Supa Dupa. Either way, Supa Dupa in at the 6. I said I was going to take CMC at the 1, and I'm going to not lie to you guys, and I will take CMC at the 1 this draft. If anyone has anything they really want to see, any combos, stacks, I'm all ears. I will listen to the people. I will listen to the people there. All right, off and running here. Survivor. I have the Packers in like everything, which people are starting to scare me with all this. Jacobs is going to get shut down now. Kraft is injured. Am I buying the Pico top of the Packers before the rug pull? I don't know. I mean, the obvious play was the Bills, but again, I just have that division game on a short week rule that I didn't want to violate. So I didn't use the Bills. I also didn't really want to root against the Dolphins. But I will root against them in Survivor, I'm sure, at some point this season, because they do seem live to be a team we pick on. But it could be after they completely blow up the team, and we're seeing Zach Wilson at quarterback. It's a Supa Dupa. He gets Trey McBride at the 7, so a little bit of a little bit earlier than we saw him go in the last draft, where he went at the 12. But you're going to see him go kind of all over the place. There goes Nico, so you guys don't have to worry about another Nico BTJ team from me. And let's see what the room gives us in addition to Christian McCaffrey here. Trying to think of some like fresh new combinations that I have not really like played these through. Yeah, maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we will make this a Mike Evans team. I don't think I want to go like Evans, Bucky, and overstack the game. That's to me a little more of a Deposit Kingdom 3 max build. I might try to do something like that over there. I think it's getting a little too much to stack the running back and receiver in this particular format. All right, let's do Evans and Drake London here. Let's do Evans, Drake London. Maybe we'll try to get a little unique at another position, or even do a three wide receiver set here. Let's see what we can't put together. So we'll scroll down a little bit for receiver, really into Drake London. I mean, I think the last time that the Panthers played the Falcons, Drake London had like 3,000 yards and 6 touchdowns or something like that. I might be underestimating. So we'll switch it up. We'll switch this one up. I don't mind that Ted McMillan call. I mean, this could be 3 wide receivers with Ted McMillan there. So Tiger Uppercut suggesting to get unique and draft Tongas at tight end. Oh my gosh. The Tongas CMC with the MHJ bring back could be what you need. Could be what you need, but I've actually seen Tongas get drafted in the Dawg Bowls a couple of times. Well, I don't know if this is the format where I want to jam that one in here. All right, so we've trying to decide what I want to do with a quarterback. I mean, I definitely could make this a Baker team. I mean, I could do Baker, Garrett Wilson, and then in stack that game, I could just do Baker and running back and not worry about the bring back. Although I do really like Garrett Wilson this week. I think that Tyrod Taylor might throw to him, every single drop back. How much are they going to drop back? Perhaps not as much as we hoped, but this could be also an opportunity to pick up a Ken Walker share. We could do something like that. We could do like Walker Warren, assuming AJD doesn't take Warren. If he does, then we'll come up with a new plan. Well, if he does that, we'll do something else. So let's see. Warren has just been so hyper involved in him. It's hard to not put him in that like elite tier of wide receiver at this point. It also does open us up to be a potential Danny Dimes team instead of a Baker or a Penix team. So let's do Ken Walker and Tyler Warren. Don't mind that there. I'll queue up Baker. I mean, I feel like stacking Baker and Evans does make sense. If Baker's gone, then I'll put Danny Dimes in there. If somehow Danny Dimes is also gone, then I guess I would just do a Michael Penix skinny stack. So that's kind of the order of operations here. And this will be a kind of a, another, there's nothing to write home about, but I think it's a, reasonably constructed team here for a BR. See if anyone's doing anything unique. Right now we have an unstacked Hurts, but we have not seen AJ Brown go, so we'll see if he does AJ Brown or possibly Javonta there. This team with Chase, Odunze, Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor. I mean, that's a pretty powerful lineup. Seeing Josh Jacobs at pick 20, he has been slipping. People are concerned about the ankle and the Browns D. We'll see. So he just takes Caleb there. Stacking Caleb and Odunze makes a certain amount of sense. Garrett Wilson did end up going at pick 28, so he was drafted in this contest. Ultimately, we'll see what Doge JP does. Does he stack a receiver, or does he take like a Danny Dimes unstacked? Let's see what he does. I feel like if I'm here, I'd just take Daniel Jones, but I'm curious to what Dawg JP decides to do in this position. He takes Bo Nix. You know what? I almost said Bo Nix was like the other option you could just do unstacked. So I wish I had. I would have seemed like Paul Atreides. But yeah, Bo Nix, another guy you can just take unstacked, has some rushing upside, and is very low owned. So I like that pick from Dawg JP. So yeah, something to learn from there, I think. This guy, we'll see. I mean, I would imagine he'd take Geno with Genty Bowers, but I think this guy might just take Baker. I don't know. We will see. We'll see. They've either they take T-Law. Oh yeah, T-Law is fine too. I mean, they have BTJ. So we'll take Baker on this team. And so this ends up being Baker, CMC, Ken Walker, Mike Evans, Drake London, and Tyler Warren. All right. All right, let's see. Let's see what the Dawg Bowl's at. We're doing a Dawg Bowl. We're doing a Dawg Bowl. Did not realize it was going to just instant fire. We're here in the middle of the board, so this is kind of nice. We got some usual suspect. JGFC. I know Cutler. I've seen Cutler around. Casey Pollock, high volume player. I know this off 419. Gosh, I don't know. I feel like they're pretty good, but I can't remember whose handle that is. And then of course Daddy 34 unfortunately is in this draft again at pick 12. All right. Tiger Uppercut. If you're Paul Atreides watching this hot, Javonte Williams feels like the Gom Jabbar. Yeah. Yeah. He is the Nah Baron. He is out to get me. He is out to get me and steal my throne. It's not good. It's not good because I have none of this, and I want to take my hand out of the best ball box, but I can't. FK Core says that's a win from the badge. Oh, okay. Yep. Thanks, FK Cores. I was like, I know this name is somebody who's like really good at this game, so appreciate that. Okay, so a win is there off 419. Let's see what the room gives us to us at pick 7. I mean, I don't want to complain about absolutely everything, but I do feel like there's kind of a top 6, and then the wheels drop off just a little bit. Benny Snell Jesserin. Yeah. Oh my God. Jordan says he's a high volume player, won a lot. Yeah. Again, I was like, I've seen this name like at the top of leaderboards, and mentioned on shows and Discord. So we will keep an eye on what they do. I think they may have actually been in the last draft as well, but I missed that. All right. So CD Lamb goes at the 2. McCaffrey goes at the 3. So what do we want to do? Do we want to just go with ADP and take Bucky? Or do we want to try to do something a little wonky? I don't know that we try to do anything super wonky. I guess we just take Bucky. I can't in good conscience click Jamar Chase. I just can't do it. It's just too thin for me. It's just too thin with the Jake Browning against a good defense. Gosh, I'm complaining about every pick, so I should just stop complaining, but I'll just take Bucky here. That's fine. I'll take Bucky Irving. We'll see if this ends up being, I could potentially do Baker, try to do a Baker, Bucky, Garrett Wilson stack this game. I don't think I have any of those in the Dawg Bowl, so something to consider potentially doing. Bayshai Halud Tune. That one's pretty good. My God. Yeah. If Tootenhouse is another long touchdown, he would be Bayshai Halud. That's awesome. All right, let's see what we got here. We got I took Bucky here. Let's see what Awin does here at the 11. FK Coors, I was pretty sure you say his name Awin, and now I'm like second guessing myself. But so I don't want to be sound like an idiot. But I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. And so he takes JSN at the 11. Jordan Mason in the first round now. Daddy 34 taking Josh Jacobs at the 12 with Trey McBride. Let's see what we can get at pick 18. At pick 18 for us. We at least do have a little bit of flexibility with what we do here. Let's just see, thinking way ahead. I scrolled too far. Garrett Wilson's ADP is 46. So he might be here at 42. He might not. It's going to kind of depend on what this side of the room does. So we'll see if that's the direction we want to take this team or not. I think I spelled it wrong, but you're saying it correctly. Okay, yeah, Awin. Jordan says somebody just took Grant Calcaterra in the 3rd in a BR straight to jail. Yeah, people do weird stuff. People do just odds. I was going to take Mike Evans, so there went my plan. And then Romeo Odunze was kind of the backup plan. I don't mind Jalen Hurts. I have so much of this Drake London. But if I think Drake London is what you need to win, then I should just do it. And we just say if this is the game, we're going to Kansas City. If this is the game, we're going to Kansas City, and I guess I'd have to get a Drake London jersey. So we will see. I'm not a Falcons fan, but I would be willing to do that if he is who carries us across the line to the Dawg Bowl. All right, so we got Bucky Irving, Drake London. This is this looks like a team from the 12 hole in a BBM where I was like, I need to get different. Let me take 2 second-round picks. I take a Bucky London at the 1-2 turn to get different. So we'll take Bucky, Drake London in this contest and see what we can see. Thinking ahead, what we can stack. Again, I don't, as much as I liked what Casey Pollock did, I don't know if going Baker, Bucky is necessarily how I want to play this, but we are live to try to do that. I don't think that's going to be done very much in the Dawg Bowl. But again, I really was going to take Evans, Bucky, and then just try to overstack Tampa Bay, because I did kind of like that. I did kind of like that idea from the last draft, that it kind of cropped up in my head. Tyler Warren, pick 23. He goes pretty early. Let's see what the Bijan drafter does. I've taken Tet in this spot to try to overstack that game. Bijan Genti is, seems pretty nice, and he takes Tet. Okay, so we do see, we do see people targeting that game. We see Len targeting this game there. Of course, I would not mind Chuba. Chuba's ADP is like literally 30, so we'll see if that comes around to us. We have 4 people who can take running backs, and we have 1 running back by ADP in between. So, the good news is that these guys are all are pretty strong. Like if somehow Jalen Hurts came back, I would not hesitate to take Jalen Hurts at this point. Tucker Kraft, I'm not going to take, but I like Pickens, Kamara. We just did BTJ, but I would be willing to do it again. Tony Pollard's fine. Do I want Breece Hall versus Bucky? Not really. So I don't know. We'll see who we take. In the ideal world, it's Chuba. If Chuba goes, then we'll see if maybe we can get Kamara. Ken Walker here. Ken Walker watch. He's going at pick 22. I think that's where he went in the last one of these. So there goes Pickens off the board. Chuba goes. Cutler, you are killing me. So not going to be able to game stack this game how we had hoped. What do we want to do, folks? What do we want to do? Kamara goes. So now we're really kind of not where we had hoped to be perfectly honest with you all. I mean, I don't know if this is what I want to do. I think I'm going to just take Garrett Wilson here. I'm going to take Garrett Wilson and scroll. I'm okay if I pass on Tony Pollard. I'm not super duper into Pollard, whereas I do kind of want a little bit of access to this Bucky Garrett Wilson game stack. I don't know. I think I'd rather try to take my chances on a punt running back than in not getting at least one of these game stacks I'm into. I've kind of been frozen out on Tet McMillan and Hubbard coming back to London. I don't have a Bucky Garrett Wilson team, I don't think. So I obviously don't really want a Tyrod Taylor team. I am almost interested in the Baker, taking Baker here. I kind of have concepts of a plan coming together in my head. I think where's the Evans draft? Oh, this is the Evans drafter. I hope this guy doesn't take Baker. I'm going to be a little annoyed with myself. Okay, he doesn't take Baker, so we should get the chance, if we want Baker, to take him here. Again, we're losing a little bit of ADP value. Jaylen Warren is fine. Can we pass? Can we get Baker through this gauntlet? I think we can. I'm really into Jaylen Warren. If Baker goes, we're just going to have to figure something else out. I'm willing to take this risk to get access to Warren. Now, Pittsburgh did lose an offensive lineman, which I don't love, but I'd be a little surprised to see Baker go unstacked ahead of ADP. I mean, his ADP is 52, so it's not even like these people would be getting a huge value. This linked guy, he's setting up for something like Bryce Young. Is very obvious game stack. This drafter has Herbert live. This drafter has a quarterback. He just took Dak, which is annoying because there's no reason for him to do that. And it kind of pushes Breda into maybe more of a taking someone unstacked, which could of course be Baker from us, which would be, again, annoying. But we have some, as we've seen, we have some late QB options that we can potentially do. So we've got plans within plans. As if we're going to continue the Dune theme, we got plans within plans here. So let's see what we can conjure up if we don't get our wonky Baker Bucky stack here. Let's see what the best and brightest are doing. Awin, he goes at JSN, Nico, Tony Pollard, and Kyron. So he does take Pollard. Makes me think Pollard Obviously if he's taking him there, he likes Pollard well enough to grab him in this range. This guy takes Jaden Daniels again, playing the Q tag game. I don't think it's horrible because he probably, if he's rating Bryce Young, he could put Bryce Young high in his stacks, and Young is likely to go unstacked. And if Daniels does play, the fourth round Jaden Daniels is kind of a giga smash. Justin Herbert goes to the Lad drafter. I wonder if Casey Pollock was planning to take Lad with Keenan, or if I would not expect Herbert to come back with the Lad drafter there, but we'll see what Casey Pollock does. All right. Nobody to my right has a quarterback. Very interesting. 4 people to my left have quarterbacks. Nobody to my right. So that's kind of an interesting dynamic. The way this room has kind of shaken out. Meaning, I would not, in any circumstance, try to push my quarterback across the universe there, because people can do some weird stuff from time to time. We'll see who Cutler takes. Ferguson has gone, so I don't think he's going to be able to stack up Dak unless he does something like a really sweaty Kevontae Turpin, who might even be injured. Interested to see what his plan is. He takes Kyle Pitts. Casey Pollock takes Cortland Sutton. So we're just going to take Baker here. I think this is fine. Igbuka, I'm worried is not going to play. Obviously, I can't take Igbuka because of position limits, but I do have some concerns. Igbuka is going to be out this week. I wonder if C.R. Blake thought he was going to get get Baker with Evans, but he does not. So we've got Bucky, Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Jalen Warren, Baker Mayfield on this team. And yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. DeAndre Swift goes. Swift's a name I've been having a little bit of trouble getting to, but he cropped up on the injury report. So Awin takes Drake May. Hopefully that means he's going May and Hunter Henry. Let's see the other quarterbacks that go. Kyler goes to the Trey McBride drafter. So Drake May, Awin does do the Drake May, Hunter Henry instant stack. The drafter who has Jefferson and Evans and no obvious quarterback. Let's see, does he do Bo Nix? Does he do Daniel Jones? Interested to see what this drafter decides to do with no obvious stacking partners available to him. He takes Bo Nix. We will see. Let's see. All right, so Roethlisberger takes Ja'Tavion Sanders. That's great news, because assuming Berber doesn't take anybody, we can do our greasy of greasy stacks and take Cade Otton. Cade Otton is not being drafted in every contest. I don't have any Cade Otton. That's my first share. But if Igbuka really is out, Cade Otton could be in line for a lot of work. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of Baker, Bucky, Otton teams in the Dawg Bowl. So I do like this. I like this team in this construction. I think it tells a slightly different story. So we end up with Bucky Irving, Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Ja'Tavion Sanders, and then Baker Mayfield and Cade Otton. So we did end up with a very unusual Tampa Bay double, but one that I think Cade Otton is a name that, as the week has gone on, as the Igbuka Q tag situation grows more questionable. We've seen Otton step in weeks last year when one of Evans or Godwin were out, step into a pretty hefty role there. So we'll see. I like this team. Sometimes late in the Dawg Bowl cycle, it feels like you're just adding teams that you don't really love. But I do like this team. I feel like it has got a good place in the portfolio. So I'll keep the board up. We can see what others are doing. Casey Pollock, I think it's a little unfortunate for him. I'm sure when he took Sutton, he was expecting Bo Nix to come back. Ends up with unstacked Daniel Jones. I don't think unstacked Daniel Jones is the end of the world, but I most of the time, you can get Nix if you take Sutton in round 5. But as we see in these, there's no guarantee. You do not have the God-given right to a stack in these contests. Other things of note, we see Troy Franklin go. We see Matt Stafford going to the Devontae drafter. Michael Pittman goes unstacked. I like Michael Pittman. James Conner, left for dead, pick 71. Could be good. Could be good. I mean, we're all afraid of Trey Benson a little bit, but, another left for dead scroll down running back, don't mind that. And Dallas Goedert, Mr. Irrelevant, but I like Dallas Goedert. I think he's great as a last round tight end. He is very low owned in this contest. So, all right, I'll probably run another BR or two and then get on out of here. If anyone wants to hop in a BR, we are too late. That's what we are. We are too late. I apologize. I was hoping that this wouldn't be snap filled. Now we got Awin following me around. Were they in this room first? Probably, being that I filled it. But we can tell our own stories here. So again, appreciate all of you so much. If you can, as always, like and subscribe. I will be back on Monday, hopefully with good news. Hopefully with some good news. We'll see. We'll see if we have a good week. Would love to punch that ticket to Kansas City. That is big goal this year. Would be really incredible to do it. Going to be difficult. Even if you max it every week, you are still you are still not guaranteed a seat. It is such a competitive tournament to get in, and hopefully we get there. Hopefully we can get there. All right, and we are off. Excuse me, we are off. All right, so assuming they take Bijan, I would be happy to take CMC, trying to get that exposure a little bit evened out and try to build some CMC teams, but I will not pass Bijan. All right, 101 takes CMC, so more Bijan Robinson, and that is a-okay with me. All right, so let's see. I'm almost wondering if we want to just get a little weird in this tournament. I think I want to do I kind of want to do another Tet McMillan team, a Bijan Tet team. Wondering what other game stacks seem interesting. Play it through the running back. I mean, I have so much Jordan Mason. Maybe get a little different at running back. Kamara's been left behind now that people are really into Ken Walker. I could do Bijan and Chuba Hubbard. That's going to be a little less done. Maybe let's plan to play it through Bijan, Chuba. I don't think people are going to build this team that way. So I'm going to boot I'll keep McMillan and Chuba in the queue. Let's just see if we get any kind of falling value in this room here. Like if we get like a Puka, I should take it. Even a Jamar Chase at a certain point, I'm not going to pass on some combinations that might be a little bit tougher to get. Obviously, it's not going to be impossible. You will get a room where 4 or 5 people are just out on Jamar Chase, and he'll loop back to the 101 or the 102 drafter, but it'll be a little less frequent, so we can sprinkle those in. Does not happen in this particular room. I think there's pretty high likelihood Trey McBride is paired with CMC a lot more, just because people's natural tendencies to want to do bringbacks, despite the fact that I just don't think they're strictly necessary in these in this format here. We did just do like that Mike Evans stuff. I'm really into Mike Evans. I think I want to get more. I think I want to get more overweight on that, even if we don't game stack it. I think Mike Evans is fun. Bucky Irving is here. All right, let's do Bijan and then Mason, and then we'll take Evans next. Hopefully we don't get sniped on Evans. Probably should have just taken Evans first, because I like a lot of these running backs, and I didn't necessarily need another Jordan Mason team as much as I would like to build a Mike Evans team here, because I'm trying to catch up on that exposure before this ADP really skyrockets. If Igbuka's ruled out, I think Mike Evans is going to move to probably around here. I think he'd flip Drake London in my opinion. That's where I would guess. All right, so let's see what Crazy Rich Ninja does here. Hopefully the dangling carrot of Rome Odunze is just too tempting for him. I I think this is how I would play it. I'm okay not getting Trey McBride. I think that's fine. I don't mind scrolling at tight end here. So he takes Lad McConkey. Let's just do Mike Evans here. This is not enough of a fall to demand taking him, in my opinion. So, are we giving someone something that's slightly unique? Yes, but I don't think it's the integrity of the battle royale has been compromised. All right, so Trey McBride goes to Awin. You're welcome there, Awin. Please remember me on your in the Badge Bros. If you do win, you could give me a shout out for making a bad play that helped get you home. So we'll take Mike Evans on this team. So we got Bijan, Mason, Mike Evans. I think if I could plan this draft out, my next pick would be Tet McMillan, and then decide what we want to do at quarterback after, if we want to try to go, if we want to make another Baker team, if we want to make a Bryce Young team, how we want to handle that out. All right. So this is the plan. This is the concept of a plan team would be Tyler Warren, Tet McMillan, and not Jordan Love, Daniel Jones. That's kind of how I if I could map out how this team I want to go. I'll try to end this team with a Daniel Jones Warren stack, and then have the Bijan and Tet McMillan kind of game stack there. So that's just sort of the general outline, subject to change, and based on the room or just the whims of Paul Atreides here. Crazy. So there's nothing I can do to push here. We both have 2 running backs, so I don't have anything where I know I could safely push it. I do think I would take tight end first, because tight end I'm not going to do the Daniel Jones thing without Warren, even though you could take him naked. I think I just do like that stack well enough to try to get some access to it. You can do the same exact thing, but instead of Tet McMillan, take Calvin Ridley. I think that's fine if you want to end up with a game stack there. I think that is a kind of fun way to do things as well. I don't think both will be heavily done. I do think there will be people that go Warren, Ridley, Jones. I think that little 3-person combo is something that people will be doing. But it's not like to the point where I think it's overdone. I think it'll just be, you'll see it occasionally, and you'll probably see very different variants above it. And I don't think, I'm not like worried about dupes. I think it'll be not common enough to have to worry about dupes, but it's not like, you're not the only one who has thought of that potential way to round out a roster. So we'll take Tyler Warren. 2 people have quarterbacks. This person with Drake London is live to take Tet McMillan if they do want to game stack that. So I think I'll take Tet McMillan before Daniel Jones. I do have to worry about people taking naked Jones, especially this drafter who doesn't, right now their only pairing is Browning, but there's enough, instant stacks you can build at the end that I will, I'll just take my guy, Tet McMillan here and give some flexibility. I mean, if this team ends with Baker, if this team ends up with Bryce Young, if this team ends with Daniel Jones, I think all of those are perfectly fine ways to end the team. So I don't need to commit to Daniel Jones if it doesn't happen. So yeah, Chase Brown. I mean, Chase Brown at round 5 seems good. So Awin really has just like accumulated a lot of nice value on the team. Saquon, Nico, Trey McBride, Drake London, Chase Brown. Sometimes the room just gives you stuff. I mean, I'm partly to blame for reaching for these picks. So sometimes you can be in these rooms and really just like scoop up some stuff, and that's Awin has successfully done that. Be interested to see which quarterback he takes. My guess would be Kyler, but he may go different. I think you're going to see a lot of Kyler McBride, so we'll see if he values the projection or the ownership combination slider scale there. We'll keep an eye on that. All right. see something real quick. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right, we're good. We're good. All right. So Devontae Adams goes across from Jalen Hurts. So it is a Puka Devontae double with a Jalen Hurts as the bring back. To me, it's a little thin in the main BR, but I see the vision. I see the vision. I just have it's not my favorite way to build in the big BR. To me, again, that's more of an engage 8 deposit kingdom kind of plan there for me. Ken Walker goes. I love the Ken Walker pick. Herbert. A-Win takes unstacked Herbert. You learn something new every day. Yeah. I mean, this makes it very unique. I wonder if A-Win thought that his combined ownership was just so high he wanted to get different. But yeah, takes unstacked Herbert. We take Daniel Jones. I play that more a little more chalky, but I think this combination, I think we scrolled enough with Evans and Tet that we could afford to get a little bit chalky here. I mean, it is possible that this exact team has been created, but I'd be somewhat surprised. I'd be somewhat surprised if this went down exactly this way. All right, let's see what the Dawg Bowl's at. We'll do, if the Dawg Bowl. All right, so we'll do one Dawg Bowl and then get out of here. I think that's going to be the plan. So assuming this fills, otherwise we'll just rip one more BR. So we'll try to do. You know what? No, let's just do a couple BRs. So let's just do a couple BRs and then we'll get on out of here. So, all right, the BR has filled. We're off and running. And we'll see if this is the last one or if we can do one more. But again, thanks so much for everyone hanging out. Joel notes that he's going to be taking a ton of unstacked Herbert this week. Yeah, I mean, if A-Win's doing it, it can't be that bad. So I hear that. I mean, the thing about unstacked Herbert is twofold. One, he has been running a lot more, so you definitely can get a rushing touchdown or two. And two, they do not run a particularly condensed offense. I mean, they have a lot of targets, so I don't mind taking him naked. Sort of like Mahomesian, where the quarterback can get there and none of the pass catchers are like who you need. Like sometimes the pass catcher falls into the like did fine, it didn't kill you, and could be on a winning lineup, but wasn't like the reason for winning. So T-Bear 81, that is one of you all. Pretty sure T-Bear 81 is one of you all. But anyway, we're in at the 4 hole. We'll see what we can get. I am reaching a critical need to blow my nose level. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Dear God, one day I won't have a cold. One day I won't have a cold anymore. It's not today, but someday. Some beautiful day I will be able to breathe through my nose. Let's see what Braden Morency does. Does he take CMC or do we get CMC at 4, which would be kind of cool? If we get CMC at 4, we might try to play this straight up and just take value. But we don't. We get CD Lamb. That's fine. So we take CD Lamb. Terrence says, watch the San Francisco New Orleans game and CMC seemed juiceless. It was shocking. I didn't catch much of that game. I hope he's not juiceless, because I need him to have juice. I need him to have juice for this season to not go to 0. Romo Dunze goes. That is a shocker to me, especially with CD Lamb. Wouldn't mind stacking that up. All right, let's do Lamb McBride. We'll get a little wonky there. We're not going to worry about tight end on this room. I don't think we're going to necessarily jam in Kyler on this team, although Kyler is obviously very live to be who we take here. But yeah, Terrence, I'd have to catch more of that game. I can't say I watched all that much of it. I know they still went to him 1,000 times. But I mean, the age cliff and the time cliff comes for all of us. I did not think it had reached CMC yet, but Tyrion says he's a volume merchant now from what I see, but it's only the highlights. Hard to say. Yeah. That was kind of where I was at. I'd only really seen the highlights in that game, and he didn't have a touchdown, but he definitely got there on volume. And I mean, the thesis with him has always been volume plus, explosive plays and touchdowns. And I think we're still going to get volume and touchdowns, and he's still going to be a guy to use every week. Like he has been just so good for so long. Brady Morency, let's see what they do. I mean, Bucky Irving has fallen quite a bit here. I'd probably just take the Bucky value here, but we'll see what the room ends up giving to us if Brady Morency takes that or not. I like Bucky enough to where I would have taken that, but I was not afforded that opportunity. Let's scroll down. Let's take Ken Walker. We'll take Ken Walker here because he might be gone next. I want to up my exposure to Walker, and there's enough of these running backs that I'm kind of neutral on. That I think I have concepts of a plan on this team that I have not been able to build yet. I mean, I could just take Josh Jacobs and be fine. I'm just going to take Josh Jacobs here. I'm really not scared of the Cleveland footballing Browns. So we'll get Josh Jacobs on this particular team, and then I'll tell you all what we're going to do. The plan is to take Ricky Pearsall because Juwan Jennings, I believe, missed practice again, and this is not just because Terrence called CMC juiceless, but I do if Jennings is out, Ricky Pearsall I think moves into like mega smash territory, and so I want access to that. And if I do in fact take Ricky Pearsall, then I probably do just want to make this a Kyler team. And so we'll have Kyler, Ken Walker, Josh Jacobs, Ricky Pearsall, and Trey McBride. Dak Prescott just went unstacked. People just get loose in these. So you cannot count on having a stack if you don't take it. You are not guaranteed it. So yeah, so he I guess was planning to take Pickens on the wraparound there. I don't know if that's the order I would have done it, because if that guy took Pickens, you just have naked Dak, and being you've already taken Bowers, you're not gonna be able to stack him with Ferguson. Again, unstacked quarterback, not the end of the world. In fact, I think more and more people are talking unstacked quarterback in these. There's a little bit of a drumbeat, and we did learn last year that unstacked quarterback is slightly underdone relative to how often they're optimal. That said, I think they're being done in like kind of helter-skelter ways to where it feels like you're just sort of on the Fury Road, and hoping that you end up with a quarterback by the time it's over. So we'll take Kyler. So we got Kyler, Ken Walker, Josh Jacobs, CeeDee Lamb, Ricky Pearsall, Trey McBride. I don't mind this team. I think it's a perfectly reasonable battle royale team. And again, Ricky Pearsall right now is going completely undrafted. But if Juwan Jennings is out, and again, I'm pretty sure he missed practice again. Yeah, another DMP on Thursday. So if Jennings is out, it is wheels up for Ricky Pearsall. Sorry, the snap filled again. Again, if I counted it down, that means this you would have been in the snap filler. So I apologize. It's very hard to do these drafts with the community members here. But again, really appreciate y'all hanging out. Appreciate the support. It means a ton to me. Excited for this week's slate. Excited to talk about it with you all on Monday when it's done. All right, so we've got the 3-hole. Part of me almost feels like just skipping this range or taking Jonathan Taylor. I don't think I've gotten to much Jonathan Taylor. Let me see. Oh God. Hold on. I want to see my exposure here. I think this needs to refresh. All right, so how much Taylor do I have? 15% Taylor. So I do have more Taylor than I thought. 20% Bijan. 12% McCaffrey. Okay. All right. So I'm not actually as light on I guess I should have checked what my Saquon is. $28% Saquon. Good gravy. All right, let's take Jonathan Taylor ahead of Saquon on this team. Yeah, just the way the drafts have fallen, I've just been weirdly overweight certain things. I'm not going too far afield with my early round selections, but let's take John. Oh my gosh, but CMC's here. Jeez Louise. No, you know what? I said I was going to take Jonathan Taylor. I'm fine. Oh, but aren't I light on CMC? Didn't I just see that I'm light on CMC? All right, well, I'll take CMC here. I can do Jonathan Taylor on my own time. If you see me in the streets, I'm going to take some Jonathan Taylor. Maybe we'll get a unique combo here. Maybe we'll get a unique combo that we haven't been able to get, but people have been playing these pretty straight up. CD Lamb at the 4 and Taylor at the 5. And so Brendo BB2, what does he do? What does old Brendo do there? Brendo thinks about it. He takes Trey McBride at the 6, so he decides he doesn't want to have to worry about late tight end on his team. Taking Trey McBride there. Let's see what the room decides to give us. Puka Nacua. All right. Can't fault him for that. Again, just nothing. The rooms have been very, very stingy as far as the value that they're availing to hardworking members of the community like myself. Let's do a Drake London though. Let's scroll. Let's shake things up a little bit. Let's shake things up. We'll take Drake London. We've already got CMC kind of anchoring the boats here. We'll do Drake London. Try to mix things up. Like do something like London, Pickens, Tet McMillan, something that people are just like skip over like a big chunk of the draft board. Possibly we just take Tyler Warren here, so that we're good on a tight end that we're into. I'm also more than fine scrolling for tight end, but I think we're doing enough scrolling here to let's just lock up Warren, and then we'll take Pickens and Tet hopefully with these picks. Again, if we get sniped, there's 1,000 other scroll down receivers we can get to, but I'm just kind of thinking how I want to do this. Probably don't want to do another Daniel Jones. I feel like this is, having built a lot of these, it seems like Daniel Jones, Warren as the kind of bailout stack with 4 other parts is going to be somewhat common. Sharon says, I queue up highlights on YouTube and it's been illuminating. Daniel Jones has been worse than his stat line shows, and Mac Jones looked horrible from a few observations. And that's not too unsurprising. I think we kind of know that Mac Jones is terrible. Oh no, Pickens goes. I should have just taken Pickens because I didn't want to do that. All right, Pickens is out. Let's take Mike Evans. Let's take Mike Evans and then Tet McMillan. If we don't get Tet McMillan, it's fine. Then maybe we take Garrett Wilson. Although part of me feels like I actually just built that exact team previously. But we will see. Yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones could just be like a Shane Steichen merchant, but that's fine. This is the best offensive line Daniel Jones has ever played with. This is the best receiving core Daniel Jones has ever played with. And I can't say running back because I think he played with Saquon, but it's not like he has Jonathan Taylor. He has all the weapons in the world. He is in the most ideal situation to succeed. And if he just doesn't screw up and does what is asked, he's going to be a good fantasy quarterback. I don't think there's any way. I don't think there's any way around it. I don't know. So we'll take Tet McMillan on this team. Yeah, this Tyler Warren pick was kind of annoying me. I shouldn't have done that. But anyway, it's okay. We'll take Tet McMillan. So we got CMC, Drake London, Mike Evans, Tet McMillan, and Tyler Warren. That seems good to me. Seems perfectly cromulent team. Tim says, yeah, they're pretty stacked at Indy with wide receivers plus Warren. Yeah, plus good O-line, plus Jonathan Taylor, plus they play in a dome. Good coaching. Like it seems obvious now that we should have been taking more Danny Dimes than now it seems kind of crazy that they're going to bench him for A-Rich. Like when we were drafting Daniel Jones in BBM, we're like, well, we'll probably get him for a few months of the year, and then A-Rich will play in the end. That seems like an absolute pipe dream right now. So I don't know. Speaking of pipe dreams, let's take Bryce Young. We'll make this a Bryce Young team. Silhouette still doesn't have a quarterback. So Bryce Young will be the quarterback. A little bit of rushing upside. Game I'm targeting. And yeah, all right. Let's get Bryce Young into the fold. We'll fire up another one. We'll see when it ends if we have time for one or two more. We're gonna get out of here before the clock strikes 10:30. Waiting for two. This probably will be the last one, I guess, because I got a couple things I do need to do today, and that's as good a reason as any. But again, appreciate y'all's support. It's been so much fun doing these. And I got the 101, the Influencer 101 here. We got Line of Scrimmage in here, a name I recognize from the Discords here. Yeah, let's see what we can see. Maybe we flip the board and take Jonathan Taylor at the 101. I don't know. We were talking about Jonathan Taylor. Let's do a Jonathan Taylor team. Let's live a little. Let's take Jonathan Taylor. We have enough Bijan teams. If Jonathan Taylor is who you need, we're gonna have him this time. So, all right. I like Hockey Hooligan. I like Hockey Hooligan just coming into the football streets, just no fear. Like it's not NHL, but I'm still gonna come in. I'm gonna win the BR. All right, so let's do Jonathan Taylor at the 101. Why not? He's so good. He's so good. I'm not afraid of that matchup with Tennessee at all. I think I want a little more Jonathan Taylor in my life. Again, at the expense of Bijan and CMC seems not good. But being that this is the last draft we're going to stream, we haven't done a Jonathan Taylor draft. I did want to get one of these in for the people. I can keep the board up so people can see what's going on. And probably not going to make this like a Cam Ward team as a bring back for Jonathan Taylor. I think that's slightly thin, although I don't hate it. I don't hate it because one of these days Cam Ward, if everything clicks, could potentially have a strong week. I don't know. I don't know if this is the team I want to do that in, but it has been it does have me thinking that we could just see some better days ahead for the Titans. You know, he's a guy that we were all again knew might come along a little slowly, and then he comes along slowly, and we're like, oh, he's not that good. Well, we'll see. You know, he's 2 games into his career, but to win a BR, feels slightly thin, perhaps. All right, so we got Jonathan Taylor here. How do we want to build the plane? How do we want to build the plane? I'd love Trey McBride. I don't get Trey McBride. I keep taking Devontae Adams. I keep taking Drake London. All right. And you know what? I said I was going to do this last time, and then I didn't. So let's do Odunze Pickens on this team. Let's do Odunze Pickens. So we'll play it this way. We'll just build the stack right now. If someone else wanted to do that, too bad. You didn't get it. So we got Rome Odunze. We got a little bit of a game stack there. We've got Jonathan Taylor here. We could either do an instant stack of somebody else. We could take one of Dak or Caleb. I think both of those are fine. We could do the Ward. We could do the Ward Ridley thing with our last pick. Just depends on how wild we want to get in these streets. Tim says Titans are due for some strong performances. Yeah, I think they are, but I think people are going to be scared to do that in the main VR. You know what? Maybe let's not be scared. Let's not be scared. Let's actually do it. Why not? Why not, people? Again, we've got concepts of a plan floating through our head. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do Ward. We're gonna do Ridley. We're gonna do Kate Otten because people aren't taking Kate Otten. I think Kate Otten's a good click. I think Kate Otten is the most likely to get clicked. So I'm going to do Otten, Ridley, and then Ward. Nobody's going to take Ward unstacked. That would make stone zero sense. Someone might randomly rip off an Otten or a Ridley. And if someone does take those, I don't need Cam Ward. I could do this with, I could play this through the other game. So let's do Otten. Let's do Ridley. And then we're going to end this team with Cam Ward. Why not? Why not? Who knows? We don't know what it's going to take to win a BR. It could be this. It could be this. So we got Jonathan Taylor, Romo Dunze, George Pickens, and then Cade Otten, Calvin Ridley, and Cam Ward. This is going to project like dog meat. I don't recommend you try this. This is going to project terrible. It's probably bad, but we're going to try something. If Cam Ward, Calvin Ridley is who you need, maybe we're halfway home with the Jonathan Taylor bring back, a game stack, and then a tight end people are not taking. So everybody, thank you so much. I had so much fun on this stream. I believe Davis is going live at 10:30. I think he is, unless I made that up. But either way, we've been live for almost 2 hours. I gotta get running. Clipper Nation noting, if this hits, you won't be duped. Yeah, I will not be duped. I will not be duped. This is a full don't try this at home situation. But we're trying to do some different stuff. We're trying to mix it up a little bit, and we've definitely mixed it up. We've definitely mixed it up in this draft. All right, so Jake Ferguson goes. Let's see. Nobody did anything too crazy. Line of scrimmage, he built a Atlanta double stack. Penix, no bring back. Dak Prescott went unstacked with a DJ Moore bring back to this. So people are just people do whatever they want. People are doing crazy stuff as I take a Calvin Ridley, Cam Ward team. But who knows? It'll be very low owned. It's low owned in the Dawg Bowl. It'll be no owned here. So there goes Cam Ward. All right. Again, everyone, thanks so much. Don't forget to drop a like and a sub on the way out, and I'll see you all Monday. I'll see you all in the Discord streets and in the BR streets. Good luck to you. I hope to see some big cashes from the community this weekend. All right. Take care, everyone.